is 170. Minus 245 CE and Pausanias 2nd century CE. Pausanias mentions altars of gods named unknown. Description of Greece, Attica I, 4 Philostratus, in his work The Life of Apollonius of Chiana 6:3, writes, "It is a much greater proof of wisdom and sobriety to speak well of all the gods, especially at Athens, where altars are set up in honor even of unknown gods." Undni. 1. A Levite musician who played a stringed instrument in the procession that brought the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. 1 Ch 15. 3, 16, 18, 20. 2. A post-exilic Levite assigned to guard duty under High Priest Jeshua. Ne 12. 1, 9. Unrighteous riches. See riches. Up as Euphas. A presently unidentified location where gold was found in ancient times. Ch 10. 9. Da 10. 5. Upper room. See house. Ur. 1. Light. Father of Eliphal, one of the mighty men of David's military forces. 1 Ch 11. 26, 35 appears to be the same person as Ahasbai. 2 Sa 23. 34. 2. Ur of the Chaldeans, the city in Mesopotamia where Abraham's brother Haran, and likely Otextoi acute Muritra longo, Urbanus 1142 long, 46 meters wide, and 21 meters high 200 by 150 by 70 feet. Picture, Volume 2, p. 322. Though at present the Euphrates River runs about 16 kilometers 10 mi of the site of Ur, evidence indicates that in ancient times the Euphrates ran just W of the city. Historian and geographer Henri Gorbut, in his book Abraham, Loved by God, stated, "At the time of Abram the three great rivers Karun, Tigris and Euphrates flowed into the waters of the Persian Gulf by three separate estuaries." It is well to point out here the site of the city of Ur. On the left east bank of the Euphrates. The Hebrew tribe of Abram, originating in the city-state of Ur, could, in consequence, be perfectly correctly designated by the phrase "the people from beyond the river." 1968, p. 8. Also, a revised and updated edition of Sir Leonard Woolley's excavations at Ur shows that the Euphrates was definitely W of Ur. Speaking of Ur's defenses, it states, "This massive fortification was further strengthened by the fact that the river Euphrates, as can be seen from the sunken line of its old bed, washed the foot of the western rampart, while 50 yards from the foot of the eastern rampart there had been dug a broad canal which left the river immediately above the north end of the town, so that on three sides Ur was ringed with a moat." Ur of the Chaldees, by P.R.S. Moore, 1982, p. 138. Thus it can be appropriately stated that Jehovah took Abraham from the other side of the river, that is, the Euphrates. Jos 24. 3. In royal tombs at Ur, excavators have found many objects of gold, silver, lapis lazuli, and other costly materials, as well as indications that early Sumerian kings and queens of the city were buried with their retinue of male and female servants. Ruins of what appear to be private houses excavated at Ur, suggested by some as belonging to the period between the 20th and 16th centuries BCE, show that they were constructed of brick, were plastered and whitewashed, and had 13 or 14 rooms surrounding a paved courtyard. Among clay tablets found at the site were some used to teach cuneiform writing. Other tablets indicate that students there had multiplication and division tables and worked at square and cube roots. Many of the tablets are business documents. From excavations at Ur, it thus appears clear that Abraham made notable material sacrifices when leaving that city. But, in faith, the patriarch was awaiting the city having real foundations, the builder and maker of which city is God. Heb 11. 8-10. Urbanus Euro middle.Bienus from Lat. Meaning refined. Elegant. A Roman Christian greeted in Paul's letter. Row 16. 9. The name is found frequently in inscriptions of Caesar's household, but the record is silent as to whether this Urbanus was an imperial servant. Uri from a root meaning light. 1. A descendant of Judah through Perez, Hezron, Caleb, and Hur, Uri's son Bezalel was a noted tabernacle craftsman. X31. 2. 35. 30. 38. 22. 1ch2. 4, 5, 9, 18-20. 2ch1. 5. 2. Father of Jebah, who was one of Solomon's food deputies. 1 Chi 4. 7, 19. 3. One of the 3 Levite gatekeepers who sent away their foreign wives and sons as a result of Ezra's counsel. As 10. 10, 11, 24, 44. Uriah middle.Re'amilite is Jehovah. 1. The Hittite husband of Bathsheba. Uriah was one of David's foreign warriors. 2 Sa 23. 39. 1 Ch 11. 41 His words, conduct, marriage to a Jewess, and residence in Jerusalem close to the king's palace all suggest that he adopted the worship of Jehovah God as a circumcised proselyte. 2 Sa 11. 3, 6-11. While Uriah was engaged in the battle against Ammon at Rabbah, David committed adultery with his wife Bathsheba, about which Uriah never learned. David then sent and had Uriah come to Jerusalem, whereupon the king asked him about the progress of the war and sent him out to go to his home so that his wife's child might appear to be Uriah's. However, Uriah refused Otextoi acute miritra longo, Urim and Thummim 11:43-3. Father of Micaiah, who was the wife of King Hobom and mother of Abijah. 2 Ch 13. 1, 2. 11. 21 Maacah was Absalom's granddaughter. Since Absalom's 3 sons apparently died young and childless 2 Sa 14. 27. 18. 18. Micaiah must have been the child of Absalom's daughter Tamar and of Uriel, not the son of Absalom, but the son-in-law. Urijah middle.Re'amilite is Jehovah. 1. A priest during the reign of King Ahaz of Judah 761-746 BCE. When Ahaz went to Damascus to offer tribute to Tiglath-Pileser III, he sent Urijah the design and pattern of the great altar he saw there and told him to build one like it, later instructing him to use it instead of Jehovah's altar. Urijah complied. 2 Chi 16. 8-16 Uriah also witnessed a writing of Isaiah. Issa 8. 1, 2 Though not so identified, he was presumably high priest, in view of his importance in the absence of any other person so titled at this time. 2. A prophet of Jehovah, son of Shema from Kiriath-Jearim. During the reign of Joachim, Urijah prophesied against Judah and Jerusalem just as Jeremiah did. However, when Urijah learned that Joachim sought his death, he fled to Egypt, but he was brought back and slain, his body being cast into a common graveyard. 26. 20-23. 3. Son of Hakoz. A priest whose son Memuth was one of the priests in whose care Ezra entrusted the gold and silver and temple vessels brought to Jerusalem. Urijah's son Memuth later helped to repair Jerusalem's wall. Ezra 8. 33. Eni 3. 4, 21. Urim and Thummim. Objects used to ascertain the divine will when questions of national importance needed an answer from Jehovah. As recorded at Leviticus 8. 8. Moses, after placing the breastpiece upon Aaron, put the Urim and the Thummim in the breastpiece. While the Hebrew preposition here translated and can be rendered upon, the same word is used at Exodus 25. 16 in speaking of placing the 2 stone tablets in the Ark of the Covenant. X 31. 18 Some have proposed the suggestion that the Urim and the Thummim were the 12 stones affixed to the breastpiece. That it was not the case is shown by the fact that, in the priestly inauguration ceremony, the completed breastpiece with the 12 stones sewn on it, was put upon Aaron, and then the Urim and Thummim were put in it. Also, a comparison of Exodus 28. 9, 12, 30 refutes the theory that they consisted of the 2 onyx stones on the shoulder pieces of the high priest's ephod. X 28. 9-14 They evidently were separate objects. Their use. It is notable that the Urim and the Thummim were to be over Aaron's heart when he went in before Jehovah, doubtless referring to Aaron's standing in the holy before the curtain to the most holy compartment when inquiring of Jehovah. Their location, over Aaron's heart, would appear to indicate that the Urim and the Thummim were placed in the fold, or pouch, formed by the doubled construction of the breastpiece. They were for the judgments of the sons of Israel and were used when a question of importance to the national leaders and consequently to the nation itself needed an answer from Jehovah. Jehovah, Israel's lawgiver, would give an answer to the high priest as to the right course to pursue in any matter. Acts 28:30. David called upon Abiathar to employ the Urim and the Thummim when Abiathar, after escaping the slaughter of the priests of Nob in which his father died, came to David with the ephod. Apparently it was the ephod of the high priest. 1 Sir 22. 19, 20. 23. 6-15. May have been lots. From the instances recorded in the scriptures in which Jehovah was consulted by Urim and Thummim, it appears that the question was so framed that a yes or no answer, or at least a very brief and direct reply, could be given. In one instance 1 Sir 28. 6 the Urim is mentioned alone, evidently with the Thummim also understood to be included. A number of Bible commentators believe O textoi acute miritra longo utensils 1144 served to link kingdom with priesthood. The Aaronic priesthood is referred to in Deuteronomy 33. 8-10, which says, Your Thummim and your Urim belong to the man loyal to you. The reference to these as belonging to the man loyal to you Jehovah perhaps alludes to the loyalty of the tribe of Levi from which the Aaronic priesthood came that was demonstrated in connection with the incident of the golden calf. Acts 32. 25-29. Jehovah wisely provided the Urim and the Thummim and placed them in the hands of the high priest. This made the king dependent to great extent on the priesthood, avoiding the concentration of too much power in the hands of the king. It brought about the necessity of cooperation between the kingship